The Neutral.
Hey everyone, I hope my mute is... Oh, it's not. I'm so happy that I've learned not to mute my mic. It's Monday, which means it's another episode of The Neutral. And I'm super stoked to have this guest on tonight because, we tried to get her in on season 1 and some shenanigans happened. They had a really busy schedule because they're never in Canada. But we have Accelerate Gaming founder and owner. What does she do? She's commentator for the Soul Calibur World Tour. I don't even know if that's still a thing. She's just an overall BAMF. This week we have AliciaxLife. Look at that.
Yo, what is going on, guys? I'm AliciaxLife. It's nice to see you all. Thank you so much for supporting Amanda and her content. She is a fabulous person, and also Brown Girls Turn Up. So,
I start this show with like a very standard question, which is, where did your handle come from? But you don't technically like have a handle per se, because like it's your name, and then X Life is like some emo girl shit. Like I'm expecting like XX Alicia X Life X like little X big X. Like is that where the handle came from? From some like live journal days?
So amazing that you said that, because most people who actually like think that my name means Alicia for life, they think that. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's super upbeat and positive because I am. No, it's because I made it when I was like from middle school to high school. And it's Alicia fuck life. Like yes, fuck life.
That's what I thought it was. I saw it and I was like, yo, this is some like Tumblr like live, no, not even Tumblr. This is some like live journal MySpace shit. Maybe Zanga level. MySpace. Yes, yo, chat. You're right. Alicia has been exposed. All of y'all, like, yes, she's a positive person, but that handle is like vintage MySpace. Like she probably had, like The Cure playing when you went to her profile. Maybe some
My Chemical Romance, but yes.
Maybe some Taking Back Sunday, some My Chemical Romance. Like, I'm exposed. Look, I didn't even do my investigative journalist shit. I've been watching The Mentalist a lot lately, and I'm just reading her in public right now.
Man, I got reads. I came here not to get attacked, bro. What the hell is this?
Look, I'm booty at fighting games sometimes, but my ability to read my opponent and expose their weaknesses is S tier. It's S tier.
Bruh. You're all winded. Oh my lord.
So, I asked Cuddle this because Cuddle told her story about like where her handle came from. And I also did this to JB because JB doesn't have a handle. It's just JB. If you were to like try to have, like an actual like gamer tag, like Boom or Cuddlecore, like what would it be?
Jeez. Probably Cute Cupcake. That's probably it. That's it. That's the name. Cute Cupcake. I don't know why, but every time I make a world in any game, it's always like Cute Cupcake or something that's super overly feminine, because my entire life I've always been like the tomboy. And when I got older, I was like, I'm allowed to be feminine now because I'm out of the closet. So, and now I'm just super girly. So it's like, cool. Anything overly feminine, let's do it.
Wait, somebody said, would it be Cute Magical Princess?
Oh, if there's enough characters to allow me? Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Are you a Magical Girl fan? Is that like your...
Always.
Always? What's your favorite Magical Girl show?
I mean, it has to be the classic of Sailor Moon just because of nostalgia. But if I was going to do like overall, Card Captor Sakura, hands down.
Ooh, good choice.
Even my sub badges are Card Captor Sakura. So
nice. I was subbed for like a month. I think I subbed for your birthday. Yeah. And then I think someone gifted me a sub.
I have a really nice community there.
You have a good community. Favorite Sailor Scout?
Favorite one would have to be when I got older, it was Mercury. When I was younger, it was Mars. Because Step on Me, Mommy. Yep.
So this is the direction the show's going on today. Step on Me, Mommy. Yo, maybe that should be the title of the episode. Step on Me, Mommy, featuring AliciaxLife. Oh man, this is already the best episode of the year.
I got you covered. Yeah.
My favorite Sailor Scout is Jupiter because we're both Sagittarius, but even more so because I remember as a kid you would like go to those like GeoCity fan sites. And I found out that I found out about a censored line that I thought was really stupid as a kid, and I still think it's stupid to today, is that when they're fighting over like who can be Sleeping Beauty for the school play, Jupiter's argument is because in the American version is because she has the most talent, and in Japanese it's because I have the biggest boobs. Cause she says like I have the most talent, and she like brings her hands to her chest. And as a kid, I was like, oh yeah, she's like real passionate about this. And like she wants to be an actress. And then I remember like reading the GeoCity fan site being like, oh, you know what? Holding your hands like this probably does mean you're talking about your titties. You're
honestly,
right,
my acting is great too.
Right? Like this works, but like also maybe holding your titties just means holding your titties. So,
it is a talent, honestly. So, I mean, she's not wrong either way.
I mean, some people are just blessed in the character creation screen. So,
yeah, that's facts.
Right? I mean, it's that simple. So, let's get on some fighting games. Deep Alicia lore.
Oh, bless
you.
Yeah.
Deep Alicia lore. What was the first fighting game you ever played?
First fighting game I ever played would have actually been Tekken 2 for PlayStation 1 or just PlayStation because my dad wanted to beat the crap out of me in video games. And that's like how I lived my life, was that he started me off on the classics though. He didn't let me play MK for the SNES until I got a little bit older. I was about like 8 or 9 when I got to play Mortal Kombat for the first time. But started off on Tekken 2. He used to actually main Anna and called her Big Booby Lady.
How young were you again?
I was probably like around 4 or 5. Yeah, like I was like, old enough to say words, but not old enough to comprehend Big Booby Lady. But I also have 2 older sisters. I played almost every character. I played a lot of Jin. But then my sister was like, I like Jen, so I had to switch off her because you can't play the same one as your sister.
Right. Yo, people without siblings don't understand the like hard matchup of not getting to call a character that you like.
Yep. That's facts. And then I wanted to play Michelle, and she was like, no, I'm Michelle. And I was like, all right. And I was like, I'm going to be Kunimitsu. And then she just messed off. And after that, she wanted to play Nina, and she forced me to play Anna because she was like, we're sisters and we fight. And that's how it worked. So, yeah.
Yeah, wow.
I mean, there was also Soul Blade, but that was my first arcade game that I played.
Yo, I'm gonna expose myself. I've never played Soul Blade. I'm like a big Soul Calibur fan. Mm-hmm. Ever since Soul Calibur 1 on the Dreamcast. Mm-hmm. But I've never ever played Soul Blade. I feel like a fraud.
It's okay. It's like it's a really fun game, and honestly, like sometimes, like if people who play Samurai Showdown now who didn't play it before, like when you guys have like your weapons drop, right? It's the exact same thing as like what Soul Blade was like. So it's kind of cool to see like mechanics like that still being used today.
Yo, I did not see learning more about Soul Blade every day. I feel like every time I do the show, I'll be like, yo, what's the first fighter you play? And somebody will say a game either that I've never played myself or like a game I've never heard of. So like Kizzy K came on and was like, I play Clay Fighters. I was like, the fuck is Clay Fighters? And then like Twitter blew me up. They were like, how do you not know what Clay Fighters is? And I was like, why do all of you know what Clay Fighters is? Like, I'm older than most of you. What? Like, how did this happen? So
for me, like, it was more just so that like I was a really awkward, non-talkative kid, which is hard to believe now because I would shut up.
Word?
I've been yeah, right. Like it's crazy. Did a whole 180 in my life. Actually, only 180 within the past 2 years. Before that, I still didn't talk much. Even Cuddle actually met me back when I was shy. That was also crazy. um, but yeah, so like when I went to arcades as a kid, I would like bring a hoodie with me and tell my parents I'm going to the mosque, and I'd go to a smoky ass arcade and play with a bunch of 30-year-old dudes, and they would teach me the game. And if my weapon broke in like a soul edge game or something, they'd just like laugh at me and be like, "Come on, kids, stop mashing! Like you're gonna lose your weapon faster." And like it was cool because they were so considerate and so nice to me, and that feeling I had back then was something I've always wanted to have again in my life, and I didn't have it until I moved to Toronto and got back into the local scene again, which is cool.
So were you like that emo girl who like would go to like the mall and like the arcade and have like their hoodie up and like their bangs would show a little bit? Based on the fact that you just immediately laughed, I'm just gonna assume I don't have to finish my question because like you were that person.
Oh, I didn't actually like look overly edgy that much. I mean, I looked more edgy when I got older and just embraced it flat out. When I was in like when I was in middle school, I went to like the arcade a lot. That was in the mall, but there was not really many arcades in the mall. A lot of them were just like old game shops
Mm-hmm.
where they would sell just retro games and hold locals there. Eventually, and I went to a lot of those definitely when I was in high school and even in college. I would literally I'd work and then there'd be like an hour break, and during my hour break, I would head over to like an old game store and just beat the crap out of people in games, and then like go back to work. And just a continuous cycle of me just doing that and drinking and doing the whole university thing was that. So
Just like telling people to go home and be family men.
yeah, it was interesting to see the walks of life. There's so much diversity in the FGC, and I never really got into like majors or anything crazy like that because I grew up in the middle of nowhere. So to now be a part of it all is like it's still like a fangirl surreal moment. And like when I went to my first Evo, I like was hiding behind people because I'm fun fact is I actually had pretty I still technically do have pretty bad social anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
So when I go into a crowd, I panic really really hard. So I have to like latch on to somebody and hide behind them physically. And anyone who met me back when I first started going to events, people didn't even know I was in the scene until like only within the past 2 years. I've been here for like 4 to 5 years,
Mm-hmm.
but I hid behind people physically, so no one really noticed me.
You're like that background character in like an anime that like they're in the show for the whole first season, but they don't do anything until like season 2. And people are like, yo, where did this character come from? And your friend who's like really hyped about the show is like, yo, but if you like look at this episode, she's like right there, and in this episode, she's like right there, and they're like, what? How did I ever not notice her before? It's like it's kind of like that.
Yeah, that's exactly my life actually. And then like a protagonist will date me, and everyone's like, "Oh, she exists? Oh, she knew? Are you teaching her how to play?" And it's like, nope, I mirrored him this entire time. That's how we met. Like, because we played a mirror match. I took a few games off of him, and then he was like, "Damn, that's crazy," and that's how we met. I don't know like what else to say. Like it's hard, that
I mean,
people.
I think that's true for a lot of people. I mean, like, I know personally for myself, like, I didn't know that, like, I, like, knew that tournaments were a thing because, like, I remember seeing, like, people. I remember there's like a show on G4 where people would compete, but I didn't know that, like, tournaments and, like, I never, like, went to a tournament or anything. I didn't know that there was such like I had heard about Daigo versus Justin Wong, like the moment
yep.
everybody's heard about, and I think I saw that like I want to say in like college or something, and it wasn't until like college that like I've told the story of the show like all the time, but there's always new people watching the live show, so I like tell it a lot. Is that like I didn't know that like competitive fighting games is like a thing. Until like one of my friends found out that I played Marvel vs. Capcom 3. And they were like, yo, so like who's your favorite player? And I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, do you like Barley Pie? Do you like Kane Blue River? And I was like, who the fuck are these people? And they showed me videos. And you ever have those moments where like a whole new world starts playing in the background?
Yeah.
And your brain and your brain goes like super galaxy brain moment. Yeah, so, like, I'm watching people do, like, Doom Infinites, and I'm like, yo, I've been playing a completely different game. this whole time.
Yep.
So, and then we had one kid show up who actually knew how to play Marvel Ultimate. And if you've never been lightning looped in your life, it's not fun. Getting Infinite is not fun, folks. I don't know if you knew this, but it's
bullying.
Getting cyber bullied face to face is not cool, kids. Bullying is bad. Despite me opening the show with bullying, Alicia, bullying is not okay. And when you're like the best fighting game player in your like small friend group, and then you get opened up real bad by somebody else who like had a fight stick, by the way. Like, here I am, I'm like, oh man, look at me and my controller. And he like shows up with a fight stick and everyone's like, ooh, he must be nice. And I'm like, yo, he has a fight stick. This is gonna go bad.
Yeah. Like, the worst ones are when they bring like the bag back in the day and it's like the big ass bag.
Yeah,
it's not even like one of those shitty Xbox ones. And you're like, they're so legit because they got it imported from Japan and they're holding it like a jukebox. They're like walking up like this and you're like,
yo, my dude came out and like unzipped the shit and like lifted out his fight stick and I was like, this is already gonna go bad. I'm gonna get exposed. I'm gonna get exposed for the fraud I am. And everyone was
Infinite.
and everyone was like, yo, man, I thought you were good at fighting games. I was like, look, man, like, don't do this to me right now. I'm already ashamed of my life. Don't make me feel
Wait,
worse.
so that means that you're the kind of person to be like, oh, I'm the best of my neighborhood, right?
Yeah! Yo. I used to, it wasn't like Soul Calibur 3 or 4. I used to like, so like how you used to be able to like pick weapons and like they did different damage.
Yep.
So I used to always pick the joke weapons for the characters, and then I would set my life really low and still beat my friends. I was that asshole. So when they got to see somebody whoop me, they were like, "Oh, Amanda, and I was like, you ever see the what is it, the hard drive article? It's like friend, guy who's better than all of his friends goes 0-2 at tournament. Yeah, that's me. That's me. That article's my life. So like,
oh man, it's hard because like when you have nothing to scale, like nothing to like base yourself off of, it's hard to ever truly know. Which is why like offline play is so important in general. And I was talking to that about like with one of my team members, and for his first tournament ever, he never even went to a locals before because they didn't have locals. Like he knew nothing of anything, and we sent him off to a tournament because he was an incredible online player, and he was excited and he was antsy about like the skill level of other people because he didn't know how he would fare. He cooked everybody. He absolutely cooked everybody. It was crazy. It was absolute slaughter. He placed second at his first majors. Like that's crazy. And the next year he ended up winning it. But at the same time, right, is that he just didn't know genuinely how good he was because he knew to a degree that he was talented because he was beating people online. But like you don't know until you face people in person, like how truly talented you are.
Yeah, I think that's like the super crazy thing about fighting games. And I think it's like true for I draw a lot of parallels between fighting games and Magic the Gathering because that's like what I was super competitive as a kid. Like I would always go to Friday Night Magic. I would, go to like small 5K events and whatnot. So like you're like minors, right? As far as like the FGC is concerned. Yeah. And one of the things that I've noticed is that like it's very similar in the sense of like I thought I was the inverse happened for me for Magic where I was like, oh, I'm like pretty mediocre at Magic, and then I found out that like no, the people I play with are just like really 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 good.
Oh.
And like the general people that I play with who I'm like going to play in the rest of my life, as long as I have like good cards, because there's only so much your play skill can do if your deck is bad.
Yeah, that's true.
Is that I actually understood the game more than I thought I did, and it was because I was playing against people that were like really really good. So it's interesting that it's like it's super true with like fighting games because you could be like an online warrior or just like someone who just like sits in labs at home all day because that's fun for them. And then you put them in front of other people, and maybe they just cook everyone.
Yeah. So always a fun little surprise to open up to and see what happens.
So you said that you kind of like didn't do like locals and whatnot really. When you first started competing, how like what made you want to do that? Like what made you want to transition from just being like the girl who plays at the arcade to like the girl trying to cook fools at locals and majors?
Um, it was the fact that I wanted to become better socially, which
Ooh.
still sounds weird because I'm so outgoing now. But
Mm-hmm.
for anyone who's met me prior to me kind of making the 180 in my life, I was really bad socially. Like not like, oh, I was like mean or something. I mean like I
Mm-hmm.
just couldn't talk to people. Like I was so nervous to like speak. And even actually before that, I don't really talk about this often because people who were there during that time know, but while I was in film school, I actually had tumors and I wasn't able to speak for about 6 to 8 months. And once I was able to start speaking again over time and over a lot of speech and vocal therapy, which are two different things, but
Mm-hmm.
um, I realized that having a voice was such a blessing, and I wanted to talk more. And that's where me going to locals started to really kick in. Was I was in an area where locals actually happened in Toronto, and then on top of that, I was able to be like, "Yo, okay, then let's go beat some fools up and have a good time." And yeah, like I went against some people, and some of them beat me and taught me a lot along the way, and it was really humbling to have such an amazing community root for me. And I was the only female who showed up for like a full like year and a half to 2 years, and we finally had like a few others show up, and it meant a lot to me to see how much it grew over time.
Which actually is a perfect segue to the way that we started talking on the interwebs, is being both brown girls in the FGC and that brown
Yep.
girl life. Um, and so I've the more exposure that I've gotten to both being somewhat of a personality and also like meeting people is hearing a lot of diverse stories. And one of the things that I keep hearing about, is that I hear a lot of women go, I didn't want to go to my local, or I didn't want to go to a major, or I didn't want to go to, my regional because I didn't know other girls went. And so to hear you just be like, well, I wanted to go so that I could like, get over my social anxiety, and rediscover my voice both literally and figuratively,
Yep.
is sort of interesting. But I for those of you who have watched the neutral extra battle, we talked about discrimination with Spaghetti Rip. Uh, I wanted to talk to you because I know that you've been open about it both on Wokecast and some of your Twitter videos. When you started joining the FGC outside of your local bubble, um, what was that experience like in comparison to what it was like in your nice insulated locals bubble?
Um, so I guess like the thing that needs to be kind of clarified would be the difference between people at events
Mm-hmm.
versus Twitch chat.
Yeah.
Those are two different things, right? So for me, it was when I started going to like offline majors, everyone was incredible towards me.
Mm-hmm.
There was never a moment where I was like, oh no, like people are the worst. Like even with being nervous and physically hiding behind my friends and um, being nervous to say hi to anybody and people approaching me and me being like, uh, it was it was nice to see how much support there was and how understanding people were towards me being awkward and the worst socially. And I just really appreciated all of that. And the discrimination part kicked in definitely when I started appearing on streams more. Right. So even in my own Twitch chat, when I started streaming more for fighting games, because I came from other games originally when it came to streaming. I also took like a year hiatus because I was sick, right? Like I just finished beating a massive illness and I came back and I was like, okay, cool. None of my viewers are back. So we're starting from scratch and I'm now in the FGC and it's a lot of fun again. Like let's see what happens. And people came in and they were super toxic and they're like, you're shit and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, no, I am. I know I am. I'm improving so much. Like, look at this, right? Like, I can actually KBD on P1 and P2. I have no side preference anymore. That's pretty sick, right? Like, and I was really proud of the accomplishments I was making because I made like literally a list of things and goals I wanted to achieve over time. And I made like a checklist of how I wanted to get better. Like, okay, cool. I'm going to lab these characters today and see what I know frame data wise and try to apply it visually, right? Stuff like that. And yeah, some days I would get cooked in really long sets where I'd mirror match on Eddie, which is my main in Tekken. I'd mirror match on him and I would lose like they would win like 20-4. And people were like, you get bodied. I'm like, yeah, but I'm learning so much. I can go back and watch this VOD and see their setups and learn. Like, it was amazing to me. And and there's some people actually in the community who are known and recognized, who even would come into my Twitch chat and like really hit hard on me. And nothing hit harder than when I got sponsored for the first time. And they were like, you don't deserve it. And then they called me the N-word. And they're still not canceled yet. And I don't know how they're not canceled. But you know what? I guess people are willing to accept his amazing instant wall running videos versus him being an absolute racist. So great to know, community.
I mean, like, I think that, you know, it's great because I don't think I've had the opportunity. And the thing that I've learned that has been somewhat interesting is that my female guests seem to allow me to segment more into the discrimination side of the FGC way more than my male guests do. I wonder why that is. But one of the things I find interesting is, so, you know, recently, what was it? It was like during Evo Japan this year, as in, you know, 2019, there was this screenshot of the chat going around for I think it was like a female Tekken player came on stream and like the chat got super toxic, and then people were talking about I don't remember which Tekken pro, so I'm not gonna like throw a name out because I have one in the back of my mind, but I wasn't prepared for this. Was like being kind of like toxic in chat to like a female Tekken player. And I was like, oh, hey, you know, it's so interesting that, like, these people get mod swords, and then they say really weird things, and then they get to keep their mod swords. And it's like, oh, because, like, they're a pro, and somebody in community management for that game decided that'd be a great idea to give people a mod sword. And, you know, I've talked about this a few times. It's really interesting, the, like, divide people have between like pro player and like who they are as a person, and I don't think it's like better exemplified than infiltration.
Yeah,
right. Like straight up court documents outlining what he did, you know, witness testimony, and there are still people that are like, yo, but he's nice at fighting games though, and you're like
how like how could you?
And, like, I know this in the real world because, like, people make excuses for, like, actors and actresses that, like, have, like, been sketchy. You know, I tell people about Rosario Dawson and her family allegedly, like, physically and emotionally abusing a trans man. And I'm like, this woman should be canceled. And all my friends are like, but she's going to be in The Mandalorian Season 2. And I'm like, what?
What matters more, people? What matters more?
What's interesting is that when it's not a celebrity, right? These people are like, "Yo, fuck this dude."
Yep.
Like, let's curb stomp this motherfucker. But then, like, the second they're like a celebrity, or in this case, a pro, it's like, "Yo, but they're nice at fighting games."
And it's
there's also how good you are too, right? Like, if you're like a B tier fighting game player, you don't get away with as much shit. But like
it's also like cloud armor. Like cloud armor is like so massive, and I hate the term because someone tried to use it against me one time, and because they're like, hey, the only reason why you can get away with saying half the things you say, because like I'm very outspoken about the issues, right? Like I don't mind telling people what's wrong. Like it's something that I decided this year actually, where I was like, listen, 2019 I was passive. I let people say their thing and be like, okay, do you know what? I'm gonna rise above and take the high road. No, the high road was leading everyone to hell. Highway to hell, baby. Like, it was not good. Okay, like, we all burned together as a community. I was like, screw it. I'm gonna just be open the entire time. when I don't like something, I'm going to say it. So now I just shit on people when they're being terrible. I'm like, listen, like someone needs to call it out and we need to do something about it. And, you know, it's hard to a little bit deep, but like it's hard to know where do I lose myself in that part though. You know what I mean? Like it's because as a person, I'm not really I'm not really that aggressive. I more personify being more assertive and aggressive because I know it's what other women need. Because it's what I needed back in the day. Jackie O'Manor actually was a person who saved me multiple times when it came to incidents with me in the scene. I had actually men who were really, really messed up towards me in my local scene. And I didn't feel comfortable going back. And she was like, what? Like, I heard you felt uncomfortable through word of mouth through your best friend. And I was like, why did my best friend tell you? Oh my God. Like, I didn't want this to be a thing. Like, it's fine. And she's like, no. Like, I'm going to go talk to the coordinator, Russell. He's an amazing dude. She would talk to him and she's like, hey, this is not acceptable that she felt this way. And we needed something to fix that. And she alphaed the shit out of my life. And she made sure that I felt taken care of. And I was like, do you know what? My confidence is growing. I want to do the same for others. So yeah, a part of me is still that quiet person internally. And when the camera's off, sometimes I end up turning back into that. And most of the time, my natural state is that, and just a happy, quiet person. But the moment the camera's on, I try my best to be exuberant and to show a fire within me to help others light their own fires and burn the world down.
Folks, like I said, MySpace emo chick. That's
you know.
But like, I think what I think is like super interesting is sort of like the two sides, right? You have like I said, I had Spaghetti Rip on and he talked about Islamophobia and Islamophobia in the FGC, right? And just like on the internet in general. And the struggle he had, even making the tweet he did that got people kind of on his back. He was like, I was afraid to be negative, right? Because there's this pressure as personalities to always only say nice things. Because if you don't say it, and like even though like speaking out against racism is like technically a nice thing, right? Like you're doing a good thing. People view it as like you're still even shining a spotlight on negative things can be viewed as like negativity. Sorry, chat. But what I was saying is that I think it's interesting the like two ways that people try to like tackle this, like and by this I mean just like anything, I guess discrimination as like a whole, right? Not necessarily a specific type of discrimination. Is that we have people who are sort of on the fence, worried about doing the right thing because like how does that get viewed, versus like sort of balls to the wall, calling it out. And I think it's hard to decide which is right. Like, I've always been more of the, like, I used to be, until very recently, I used to be sort of the type that was like, I'll talk about the fact that, like, people are hella transphobic in the FGC, but I'll never, like, shine a light on specific incidents or, like, call people out directly. And then I got hella mad last year because I went to final round. And, before final round, people gave me a bunch of shit at Red Bull Conquest finals because they were like, you only interview big names. You never interview, like, up-and-comers or whatever. And I was like, I mean, because when I interview up-and-comers, y'all don't read it. And then the websites I write for tell me that they don't want FGC content because it doesn't get views. So I stick to people that you guys read. Maybe if you guys write up-and-comers. So it's like, you know what? All right, I see you. At final round, I'm going to only interview, like, small names, right? So I did, like, Chelsea, and I did Embers and Roses, and I did Boom, you know, and none of those videos had views. And I was like, don't you ever tell me that I didn't do what y'all asked, but what that led into was that I like followed something that Alex Myers had did when he started trying to do more content, where he had went on the Street Fighter Reddit, right? And he was like, yo guys, what do you want in content? Like, I'm not just gonna sit here and make a bunch of content and like hope it does well. Like, tell me what you want and I'll do it. So when I was coming up with the neutral, I was like, yo, what do you guys want the neutral to be? And this one dude was like, yo, are we gonna ignore the fact that this dude calls himself Amanda? And I was like, all right, I'm out here trying to like create a good fighting game show with y'all's input. And you here trying to clown on me? Nah, we ain't having this today. And I tore him a new one.
Good.
And that's kind of become my thing lately, because like, so I used to just like, I would either screenshot shit that people would say to me, and I would just like post it and be like, yo, so for anybody who tells me that like the FGC is like not toxic towards trans people, here's this. And then that I would just leave it at that, and then I would just delete the comments. Now I don't delete the comments, I just clown people because, you know, I'm over it. But it's also because, and you've probably had this experience too, that like people will then tell you like, hey, you directly made me feel more safe by like calling people out or by doing shit. But it's hard to make that decision, because then like you get that like becomes the thing you get known for, right? And like, you know, then does your content stop being about your content and your response to people, right? So
I mean, for me, it was like, it was hard because I like, not even just branding wise, me as a person, is that I've always been about like positivity, right? And just like smiles throughout my life, and no matter what, like there's always some sort of bright thing or some sort of thing, something you can take out of every experience, right? And it sucks. Like one part that sucks about now is a lot of the time I do call out people, right? And I do try to hold people accountable for their actions when I'm upset. And even like one of the weirder insults I got earlier on when I started competing, before I even became a caster, was people in chat would either call me the N-word, which is like, okay, black. Like, well, I mean, technically I'm half because I'm Ethiopian Indian, but
okay.
it's like at the same time, like, come on, like, what are you doing? Like, what does that do? Like, what does that do? It does nothing. It's weird. And then like, people would say that like I'm fat, and I'm like, cool, I'm chubby and I'm aware, but at least I eat healthy and I work out. So it's like, hold that bitch. And then the next one I would get is like, oh, she's trans. And I'm like, I'm not trans. And also, how would that even be an insult? It's just incorrect. So I just don't get it. Like, I don't get the insults and like the types that they were using, because it's not, because one of them wasn't even an insult. It's just incorrect. So I'm like, what are you doing? Like, where are you trying to go with this?
My favorite is when people call me fat, because I'm like, word? Yo, shit, I've never looked in a mirror before. My bad. Like, whoops. Yo,
wait,
you know,
what?
Wait, yo, shit, I guess I just didn't understand that when I got on the scale and it said 285 pounds. I thought that was skinny. My bad. Yo, thanks for telling me.
They're like, no worries, dog. Education's power.
Because that happened once in a thread. Somebody was like, yo, this fat motherfucker. And I was like, yo, by the way, like, I know I'm fat. Like, do you think I don't see a mirror? And they're like, and then there are people who like will hop in and be like, no, don't say you're fat. And I'm like, look. I'm all for body positivity, but like, a spade is a spade. I am objectively a large individual.
Yeah, like, and that's the thing, right? Is that people are like, don't say that about yourself. And I'm like, what? Would I say I'm not brown skinned either, just because people discriminate against it? Like, listen, people are gonna discriminate anyways against no matter what you are. Like, oh, you too skinny, oh, you too thick. Like, listen, I don't give a fuck. Like, I understand what I am. Like, I like it. Like, I'll live with it. Like, sure, yeah. Like, I'm working now and doing the best I can. And like, you know what? If I slim down, I slim down. And like, yeah, like I want to be happy with who I am. And I believe that having goals is cool too. Like, I'm not saying that like I don't have goals for myself. I do. But at the same time, I can appreciate what I have. And man, people be wildin', trying to be like, listen, I'm here to fight for you. You are beautiful. Bitch, I know I'm beautiful. So what do you need to tell me?
Yo,
Like,
I
it's not
love those
hurting.
people. So I shared on Twitter the other day these like 30, it was like 30 questions to ask a trans person because Trans Day Visibility is tomorrow. And so some of them are like mad funny. Like one of them is like, what's your favorite dinosaur? Right? So they're not even like asking, some of them are just like mad normal questions.
Mhm.
And somebody replied to it, anyone, this is a great opportunity. Anybody who replies to this should do it with grace and dignity. And I was like, yo, why you gotta make this mad serious? Like
Yeah.
the whole point of this, because like some of the questions on it are like questions you really shouldn't ask a trans person. Like, have you gotten any surgeries and do you plan on getting any? Or like, one of them was like, why not just be like a masculine female or like a feminine male? And like those are like kind of not appropriate questions to like ask a trans person.
Mhm.
The whole point of I call all things memes now, in the sort of like share social media type thing,
Mhm.
is to like ask inappropriate questions. Is to like give people a window to be like, hey, some of these questions are like usually not okay. Ask them. Please don't tell people ask this with dignity and grace because like you can't. Some of these questions are just straight up inappropriate.
Yeah.
So
But, like, how
chill.
else can they get educated unless they,
Chill.
like, sometimes right, yeah. And I think it's a beautiful thing for you to do because when you open up the dialogue and break the barrier, even break the stigma that they have towards certain questions or have towards certain ideas and educate them like, hey, it's normally an inappropriate question to ask, but I don't mind answering this because I've given you this opportunity to.
Yeah.
That it's a really well spoken thing to do. And I think it's so incredible that you made that move. And I think that it's sad at the same time that like the people who want to fight so badly on our behalf don't understand ways that breaking the barrier is important. And
Yeah.
I had this actually happen recently where um like actually someone who's really dear to me in my community who's white, um like I like made a post that was just like, yo, like get it, like yo, got brown skin, like slay that shit, like blah blah blah, like just in my Discord, just towards everybody. And they DM me and they were just like, don't like, regardless of your skin tone, like you're fantastic. I just want you to know that. And I'm like, yeah, yeah, I am fantastic regardless of my skin tone, but there's a
I'm
reason why you're
also my skin
specifying.
tone.
Yeah, right. And that's the thing is that people don't understand that you like the traits that you are a part of you,
Mm-hmm.
and to isolate that away from what you're doing doesn't make sense either. So the reason why there's a lot of confusion when it comes to that, especially on Wokecast, which we have to address every single episode actually,
Mm-hmm.
the same topic every time because people still aren't getting it, but at the same time some people are. So it's like
Yeah.
we always say that if we can change one person or open up one person's mind, then that's all we were trying to achieve there. um is that people don't really get the concept of segregation of like sex, of gender, of appearances, of color, of any of that. They don't understand the difference between that versus appreciation, right? And
Mm-hmm.
that's the problem is that like saying, "Oh, she's the best female commentator," is segregating me to a subsection. No, I'm just a strong commentator, right? I can say that with confidence. Like I've
Right.
grown a lot. I mean, I started off pretty shoddy. I won't lie, right? I still have shoddy tournaments where I do a bad job.
Yo,
It
I'm not.
happens.
I'm an impartial. I plead the fifth. I don't know if y'all have that in Canada. I plead the fifth. Plead the fifth.
It's okay, baby. We do it. It's fine. But at the same time, right? Like it's levels. It's levels. Like
Yeah.
at the same time too, is that like I know that sometimes I kill that shit. Like at Frosty, even just like the one in January, I killed that one. I know I did. And that's the thing, right? Is that if someone goes, "Oh man, I heard Alicia, she's the best female commentator," and I'm like, "How? Like, one, how dare you put me up against other women, right? If you try to say that shit objectively as an overall commentator, right? Which I don't think I'm one of the best overall commentators. I'm not. I think I'm still working my way up, and I have a long way to go, and there's progression. But if you're like, yo, like game wise, I think Alicia's one of the best like color commentators. So I think Alicia's really strong at analytic commentary when it comes to Tekken or like stuff like that, where you like kind of narrow in.
Mm-hmm.
That's game related, and that's cool to subsection in.
Yeah.
When it's subsectioning based off character traits and traits that you have, that's just segregation. Like that's different, and people don't get the difference.
Yeah.
And then when I'm like, "Yo, I'm a colored girl who's killing it out here in these streets," it's not saying I'm the exception. It's saying that, damn, like I'm fine as hell and I'm killing it. That's what it is.
Yeah, I had to explain that to people a few times. I'm pretty proud of being trans. You know, it took me, especially like I'm pretty proud of being like a non-cis passing trans person. Like I'm pretty proud of my looks. And sometimes when I was like became aware of that, like that's the thing I'm proud of being distinctively trans. You know, some people were like, you shouldn't just like call yourself like a trans content creator. You should like, and I was like, look, that is who I am though, right? Like, I would never want someone to be like, Amanda's the best trans esports journalist. I'd be like, well, there's not really a ton of us, so.
Yeah, it's like, why subsection that? Like,
thanks. Cool. Sure. But like, on the topic that you're talking about, like distinctively, like when people are like, you know, best female commentator, my least favorite thing that happens whenever I interview like a female player and like put it on Reddit is people immediately are like, oh, top. Like this happened to when I interviewed Cuddlecore at Canada Cup when I first met you.
Yep.
Was that somebody commented on the Reddit thread like, oh, she's the best female. She's probably one of the best female fighting game players of all time. And then somebody was like, you know, and then like it devolved. Like people were bringing up Kane, and people were bringing up, you know, Ricky, and I'm like, can't she just be a good Tekken player? Can't we just say that like in season, what was it, like 2 or 3, she was just like a beast, and of the like 5 events she entered, she like top 8 at all of them. So like, can't we just say she's a beast? Like, why she gotta be the best female Tekken player? Or
it's exactly it, yeah.
Or like I got really mad. And I don't know if this is ever, this is something that I always get really mad about is, so when, I don't know, do you follow Overwatch at all?
Not anymore. Not anymore.
But you know who Grigori is, right?
Yep.
So I was seeing when Grigori got signed to the Shanghai Dragons, my feeds were like blowing up comparing her to like Jackie Robinson. Like and I was like, and so I made a Facebook post where I was like, yo, it's cool and all that, you know, this person is breaking boundaries, but like maybe we shouldn't compare it to like the civil rights movement. Like maybe that's like not the take. And so somebody in the thread was compared her to a former professional female Magic player, and he was like, "Well, then can I call her the Melissa De Tora of Overwatch?" And I was like, "No," and he was like, "Well, why not?" And I was like, "Because they're both women." I was like, "What is the distinctive trait here?" And he was like, well, you know, they're both women and they're both very good at their games. And I was like, but that's not a compliment, right? Like, I said to him, when you call someone like, damn, that dude's like Usain Bolt, you're not saying he's like a black dude, like a black runner. You're saying, damn, that motherfucker's fast.
Exactly.
Right? When you call somebody the LeBron James or something, you're saying, man, this guy is single-handedly the most dominant person on any team you put him on, right? Like, that's a compliment, right? Like, if someone came up to me and was like, yo, you're the LeBron James of FGC interviews, I'd be like, yo, let's go!
Yeah,
that's my shit!
Yep.
Right? But, like, if someone came up to me and was like, yo, you're the AliciaxLife of FGC journalists, I'd be like, because we're both brown and female? Like I wouldn't know what that meant, right?
Yeah, and it's like, that's because, like, it's like, what's the association between the two, right? Where it's like, oh, it's because you're both, like, grinding out and, like, working hard and leveling up, and it's great to see, like, the rise. And it's like, okay, that's a legitimate comparison when you're talking about just work ethic.
Yeah.
But if you're saying it, because you're both colored women.
Yeah.
Like,
so the thing...
Like, shut your ass up. Like, what the fuck?
So, like, and this isn't, like, an insult to you, but, like, if someone said, like, I'm the Tasty Steve of FGC interviews... Like, yeah. I feel like that's, like, a distinctive thing, right? Like, Tasty Steve is, like, is probably, like, one of the best... It's probably the best hype man in the FGC, right? Like, how many great pictures are there of him, like, losing his shit? You see it on the mic. You hear it in his voice. Like, if someone said that about me, I'd be like, there's like a clear image that would come into my mind about what that meant. And what I was trying to get across to the person is that like you can't do that for women. You can't just say like, because like saying someone is the blank of blank doesn't, like, there has to be like a clear defining trait, right? And you know, unfortunately for someone like Melissa, even though she was a great Magic player, she like didn't win a lot of titles. She was just known as being a very strong player. So you're not saying anything about the way Grigori plays Overwatch. You're just saying, oh, well, here's somebody that played in a male-dominant game and was known for being very good, and now here's another person. And a lot of times people will try to like backpedal and be like, well, what I'm saying is that there's not a lot of history in esports. And I was like, but there is, just because you don't know it. Because I was like, well, why can't you say she's like the Scarlet of Overwatch? And he was like, who's that? I was like, oh, I don't know, just like the best female like StarCraft player of all time, and probably like one of the top 10 StarCraft 2 players of all time. I'm like, that'd be a cool comparison.
Yeah.
But I'm like, you're just comparing two women because they're two women that are good, and that's not a real compliment.
Yeah, it's not. It's
right?
not.
Just like saying like, you know, Cuddles the Kanye of Tekken. That's not a compliment, like, because you know she was really good at Soul Calibur.
She stirs shit up. Okay, listen.
But you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things where it's like you have to understand that like you need to compare people on like a skill level and like or a trait that they both share. Like, you know, I think I get fairly hyped during my interviews sometimes, especially when I'm having fun, the same way Tasty Steve does. So like I would get that comparison. But if you just compared me to like Romanova, right? Let's take away like a color thing, because like I could be like, oh well, like, so let's say like people were like, oh, you're the Romanova of interviews. I'd be like, what does that even? What does that mean? Because you like her, and now you like me as an interviewer. So like we're both females that you like. So like that's.
Yeah, like is that the only reason? Like, it doesn't make sense, right? Like it's cool to like me as an individual and shit, but it's like it doesn't. It's so weird.
And I understand,
it's so weird.
And I understand context matters. Like if I'm talking to somebody who like I know is like friends with Romanova, and like I know certain things Romanova does because I'm friends with her and I pay attention to like her commentary style, right? If someone said it in that context, if someone was like, "Oh man, you're like Romanova," I'd be like, "Word, I can see what you're trying to say here."
Exactly.
But when it's like some random internet dude who's like, you're the Sharpie of this, I'd be like, you're just saying that we're both loud and black? Like,
yeah.
Like I don't know what you're, like, help me here. Like, help me
understand, like, what is the actual compliment, right? Like, what is, it's wild. I mean, like, a lot of the time, one of the main things that I get, that Cuddle also gets, and that like even like Aru gets, and like even Miles and I used to get back in the day. Yeah, like we all used to get these stupid ass ones where it's like people comparing us, and like people coming to each other's chats and being, listen, I banned some people who used to just like even if they compare me, where it's like, oh, Alicia, but I prefer you over them. I'm like, I don't want you here. I don't want you here. Like, I'm sorry. Like, it's just how that works. They banned them because I'm just like, listen, if you can't, like, if you don't like watching someone else's stream, if you don't like watching their stream, right? You don't like their content. That's cool. That's your time. That's your life. Like, you can not enjoy other people. That's fine too. But the difference is that don't compare me to other people. I don't care what gender. I don't care what race. I don't give a fuck about anything. Just don't compare me. I'm doing my own thing. I'm doing my own grind. I'm enjoying and having fun. Be a part of the experience. Don't compare me, right? And it's like, unless I ask you to compare me to get some critical feedback, that's different, right? That's a one-on-one conversation. This is an open dialogue area. And then, like, I remember I went to, like, our Miles' chat, actually. This was like a year ago. I went to Miles' chat, and I was in there she was playing, like, Mario or something, so she was just, like, half paying attention to chat, more focused on her, like, her platformer. And people in chat were talking to me and stuff because they were so excited to see me. And one of them, like, actually two or three of them actually started comparing me to Aru, and they're like, "Who do you think's more hype, you or Aru?" And I was like, "I think she is, but what the heck is this question, right?" And I was like, "I don't know." And then people were like, "Yeah, I think she is," and like one was like, "Yeah, I think she's also a better content creator than you, but that's just objectively." And I'm like,
What?
What?
Hello?
And then,
Help?
and then, like, they kept, like, and they made it, like, a discussion, and someone else was like, no, Alicia's way better, and blah, 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 and, like, you just don't get it, because you don't have that kind of humor, and then and I was like, what the fuck? And I'm like, listen, one, like, if we're talking about comparing two women, this is kind of weird. I don't really feel comfortable. So can we stop? Right? I'm not gonna start like bitching people out in Miles' chat because I don't know if I can or what her rules are, right? And then like a lot of them were subbed to her. So I was like, I don't want to like, it's our money grind too, right? Like, listen, this is her income, bro. I'm not gonna start shitting on people. That's fucked up. Like, so Miles like dies and looks over and she's like, wait, what's happening? She starts reading through chat and she goes, no, shut up. No. She starts timing people out. And she's like, she goes, no. She goes, and then she actually like stopped everything and like paused everything and just like addressed her chat and was like, you know better. Like she was like, you guys know better. Why are you doing that? Like, don't, like, you've been on the internet for long enough to know better. You've been around here to know better, to not compare people. What are you doing? And I was like, damn, go off. Thank you. Right? Because like, it's so shitty because like, no matter how I answer that question, I was wrong. Yeah. Like, it's like, it didn't matter. Like, I could be like, oh, like, she's better. And they're like, well, actually, I think you're better and you shouldn't be let low on yourself. And it's like, no, I'm not being low on myself. I just don't want you guys to ever compare me and for me to say a statement like, oh, I'm more, and like agree with it. And then like, it become a big thing. Like, no matter what you compare, I'm always going to say that the person's better because I don't want to start some shit randomly. But it's also like, I shouldn't even have to be in that situation. It's weird. Weird.
Yeah, no, I don't get it. And it happens so much to women, right? Like, the thing, like, it's not to say that, like, guys never get compared. So, chat, don't take it that way. Random YouTube viewers or podcast listeners, don't take it that way. I'm not saying guys never get compared to each other. But it just often feels like guys get compared more. And, we've talked about this for, like, the last 10 minutes or so. But it's like, guys tend to get compared on, like, what they actually do. Right? Yep. So, like, when someone is comparing, like, Vicious's content to, like, Sajam's content, and they're saying, I think, Sajam does this better, it's because, like, they're like, oh, well, you know what? Afternoon tea is just, Sajam streams, like, they're educational, and that's why I like Sajam better, because it's Sajam's content. They're not saying Sajam's better than Vicious. They're saying that, like, the type of content that Sajam does, that's the comparison point. I'm looking for educational content, and, that's just not what I get out of Vicious. So, like, obviously, I like Sajam more, right? Whereas when it comes to women, it always feels like it's like, well, I'm putting you against each other because you're both girls.
Yeah. And on top of that, why the hell are you doing it in front of us, right? Like, if you're having a beer,
you too. Like someone will always pop in and be like I said, in those threads, right? Like, people will always be like, yo, I think Cuddle's better than Ricky. And it's like, they play different games. Ricky don't play Tekken.
Yeah,
what?
Like
I understand someone being like, "Yo, I think Sonic Fox is better than Justin," because like Justin's played every game, so like maybe there's like a couple games you can like make them fight each other at, and then be like, "Oh, well, I guess Sonic Fox won. Shit, son. Guess Sonic is better than Justin." Justin, I didn't say that. You're still coming on the show, right? But like, you know what I mean? Like it always feels like when it's women, it's just like it's like always pitting women against each other. Yep. Like, there has to be like there's only one, the Highlander style shit.
Yep.
Like, there can only be one good female and the rest of them have to be trash or e-girls.
And it's heartbreaking because like there's like so my eyebrows slit, right? I did this because I did a Fakram speed paint the day he was announced, right? So as soon as I saw the trailer of him on stream, I went to my bathroom, I took out all my makeup stuff, I just started doing a speed paint of his scars, of his tattoos and everything. And during it, there's actually a slit over his eye, his eyebrow, right? And I was like, okay, so I went to go make a mark of it. I was like, do you know what? I'm going to shave that part of my eyebrow and have an eyebrow slit. I'm just going to commit.
So fucking extra.
Yeah, so I did it, right? And what's the first thing people say to me? Oh, you're trying to be like Senpai and copy her.
Wait.
What?
Wait, does Senpai have an eyebrow? I follow her and I talk to her. Does she have... Wait, am I dumb?
And that's the thing, right? Was that like... And like, even if she does, like, I think, yeah, she definitely did during this time period. Yeah. I'm pretty sure she still does, doesn't she? She might.
Chat. The reason I'm staring intentionally into my webcam is because my webcam is part of my laptop monitor, and I'm looking at.
Can we look? Are we researching if she has an eyebrow slit right now? Or people just like, wow.
No, she does. She does.
Okay, yeah.
It's like it's in her current profile picture.
Yeah. So like the thing was like, what's the first thing people did? They were like, okay, 2 brown girls with dyed hair. You're trying to be like her.
Yo, by the way, the chat immediately was like, yes, she does, and I'm like, all right, I don't pay attention to this shit.
and that's the thing though, right? Is just like, how dare I exist and do something that, and like that's the thing though, right? Is that even if I was like, yo, senpai looks mad hot with an eyebrow slit, fuck it, I'm gonna do it too. Like that's my own right to live my life. But at the same time, I literally did it because of a speed paint. And what's the first thing that people say to me? You're trying to copy her, and I'm like, what? Because they're both colored with females with colored hair, and also cast. Is that why? Like, is that what we're doing? We're just like, since there's only like 2 of us that exist.
There can only be one brown. There can only be one brown girl with eyebrow slits and colored hair. Sorry.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
like how dare?
And because she did it first, you obviously are copying her. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's just the facts of the situation.
My bad. I'm sorry, Alicia. Like
lay it straight. Lay it straight.
Look, I've been laying it straight all show. I think they're right here. I think like you can't do that. I'm sorry.
I hope to God there's people on like
I'm gonna take your card away from you. You're no longer. I have to edit your character select screen. We gotta go into the save file. We gotta pick a different eyebrow.
I gotta start filling it in from now on.
Maybe you got like I don't know. Like you can be the brown girl with colored hair who has a unibrow. Like if that's
I'll start drawing one in. We'll be good. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, but eyebrow slit. Sorry, there can be
only one.
Yo, for those of you who play League of Legends, it's a unique passive. You can only have one of them. So like,
yeah.
I'm sorry. It's just the facts. But I mean, it's like when people compare me to Miles because we're both trans. It's like, why? I don't play fighting games that well. Miles will cook me all day.
Like Miles is God. Like,
any game. Like it could be Clay Fighters. We both never played it, maybe, and like she'd probably still cook me. Like let's be real. Maybe Soul Calibur because I have the advantage of ringing her out.
You also got me on deck.
I'll take my petty victories. Yo, I'm actually pretty nice with Soul Calibur. Don't mess with me. Like,
okay.
Mitsurugi main over here.
That's a good ass main to have.
Yeah, then my main says Soul Calibur. My backup main is Maxi. But Maxi's when I'm like, this is like mad off topic, and I'm probably not gonna get back to the original topic. But Maxi's like, I don't know if anybody else is like this, but you know if you're like your calculated main, where you're like, I know the matchups, I know the frames, I know what I need to do, and then you got your main when you just want to do some wild shit.
That is so accurate because like
Maxi and Huang and like Maxi and like Young Sun, those are my like, yo, I'm listening to like EDM shit, some like hardstyle shit, and I'm like just like put it in button. Like I'm like, there's like a strategy there. I'm not just mashing, but I might as well.
Legs are going like this.
Yeah, but I might as well be mashing. Like that's what the pocket Young Sung and Maxi are for. Or for when I'm like, yo, I'm about to do some wild shit. I'm gonna Unga Bunga as hard as I can. I didn't know what Unga Bunga meant until like a year ago. And then as soon as someone explained that term to me, I was like, yo, that's like when I play Maxi and Young Sung.
Yep.
I just press buttons. You know,
that's me with Aswell. I think Aswell. I'm just like, listen, okay. Like, I played Aswell as a secondary. Whenever it was like, okay, listen, I don't want to deal with anything. I'm just gonna 50-50 you every time you try to wake up. Like, you can't wake up. Guess.
No,
guess.
My dude Cheesepath just called it the best thing that I've ever called it is what I'm calling it now. I'm not gonna call it my Unga Book character. It's your self-care main.
Yes.
Yo, chat right now, because I know there's a few of you in there. What is your self-care main? What is your character that you play literally just to Unga Bunga on people and turn on your small brain? Y'all can answer this, and I'll put the answers I'll look at the answers later. Yo, Jack is a good self-care main. Just Just a big ass robot that just
have plus frames for the rest of your time. Like that's it. That's it.
I'm about that. But I want to actually talk about some you specifically again. Let's get off the Voltcast stuff. You have a whole podcast that you do this stuff
dedicated to that. Yeah,
dedicated to this. But why start Accelerate Gaming?
Okay, so this one's pretty cool. I used to be a producer. For fun fact, so I used to produce film. Was originally started in short film. And I ended up moving to music videos because they make more money. Flat as that. Also, the turnaround time's a lot faster. So it was way better to go project to project, especially since I'm so young. It was like the perfect thing for me. But my dream, like I remember actually, it was my ex now, but my partner at the time, like asked me like, okay, what's your dream job? Like, has anyone ever asked you that in your life? And I'm like in reality, and he's like, yeah. He's like, no restrictions, nothing. And I was like, in 5 to 10 years, I want to own an esports company. That's what I want to do. And he goes, that's a great plan, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, why though, right? And he started to like kind of dive into it more. And my answers were just like I originally started off by getting a double major in English and Psych, and then I moved to film school, and then I became a producer. And but at the end of the day is that I always wanted to make people's dreams come true, no matter which route I went, or just help people. So it's like started off in Psych because I wanted to help people. Ended up going to film school and then becoming a producer because I wanted to help people's dreams come true, basically, and make money, obviously. And then when it came to me wanting to run an esports company, it was like, okay, I want to do that too, but in a different way now. And something that meant more to me than just someone's blank canvas, empty dream that I didn't really have a connection to, versus me hand selecting people with others, of course, involved. Of course, my board of directors, who are amazing people, working together, and I'm just thinking of each person on my team, and it's just having such amazing people come together and being so fortunate.
Bloom is one of our favorite human beings, so I understand.
He's fantastic, and I think one of the best pickups that happened for AXL, besides just players. I mean, I'm talking about staffing wise. Was we actually picked up RJ, who is this all-around talent that just keeps on giving. Every time he does anything, he always goes one step above and beyond. To the point where it's I was having merch store issues, or I was trying to set it up, and he's like, no, I know coding. I got you. Step away from the keyboard. And I was like, okay. And I'm like, dude, he's a videographer who does everything. And to have that kind of talent and just passion from one person is something that's so beyond me. But every person on the team has something like that about themselves, some sort of unique trait and quality. Each has dreams and aspirations that are so individual to them that make it so much more rewarding to be a part of their journey and help them grow. But yeah, the main reason why I wanted to start a team was I wanted to help build the start of esports for the FGC. I was like, okay, this is a time where you can pioneer it. The reason why I started it now versus me starting it in 5 years from now, like my original plan was my best friend, actually. So him and I were talking one day, and my soul was drained from my body. As you guys know, when you're working in life, there's always that one part where you're sitting in a bar. Actually, we're sitting in the bar that he worked at. And I was drinking my life away, being like, I hate my job. I hate everyone. I hate this shitty ass kid who's the director right now. By kid, I mean a guy in his mid 40s, which I thought of as a child. And it's just everything sucks. And then finally, it all kind of clicked together. And actually, I guess I'll start off with how I got AXL as the name. So what happened was Kenny and I were at the Locals together, which is the guy who's my best friend. So Kenny and I were at the Locals together. He's playing a game of League of Legends on a PC. And then it was time for registration. And I was like, oh, cool, let's go pay registration fee. So I go over to pay his registration fee. And Russell, the TO, was like, oh, want to put a sponsor name for him? I'm like, yeah, sure, AXL. And that was the very first time I ever sponsored somebody as a joke. Yeah. It was not a real thing. It was just a joke. And then the next day we met up, and I was drinking my life away. And he was like, So what do you want to do? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, this is like my dream thing that I want to do in 5 years. He goes, okay, why not just do it right now? I'm like, what? And he goes, why not do it right now? One, you're hot on the market. Two, you already know how to capitalize and get sponsors and get money for projects. Why not do a project of your own, which is the company, and do it the same way? And I was like, holy snap. And he's like, yes. And he's like, okay, tomorrow we're meeting up. I have it off. Let's just plan this out. So we went from a breakfast place planning it out. We moved over to we watched them switch shifts because we were there for so long. Went to a bar. We're drinking there, working on it. We spent about 13 hours together, hopping from restaurant to bar to restaurant throughout the day. And we planned out my entire company in one sitting, basically. And we ended up launching it the following month after I finished getting all of, I talked to the lawyers about the week after that. I got in contact with my lawyers, which are amazing esports lawyers in Canada. They're one of the strongest firms in Canada, and now they're branching out to the States as well. Incredible people, MKM Law and Esports.
Yeah, I was about to say, shout them out.
Yeah, MKM they're incredible people. Jeff, Jeff. I was saying Jeff because I was thinking of my staff. God damn, because Jeff is my graphic designer. He's also incredible. He's in Japan right now. Sorry, side note. Josh and Evan are co-founders of MKM Esports and Law, and I love them to death. And yeah, they helped me with everything to make sure that we got registered and stuff. Had meetings at the bank. I got everything set up within like about a week and a half to 2 weeks because I knew exactly what to do. I've been producing for too long, right? I knew my steps. I got help along the way from my lawyers because, of course, like running my own company was something new to me. And yeah, from there on out, it was launching it in cooperation with UYU and Equinox. I did a charity stream in November of 2018, and that's when I announced it with their help. So yeah, that's the whole
man, you know, there's something weird that these women-led orgs, they all work together and they all help each other thrive. Man, it's so fucking weird. And they're like three of the best orgs in the FGC that are FGC endemic orgs. Because, like, there's a difference between, like, saying, like, Cloud9 or Team Liquid or something, right? Yep. Versus, like, a FGC endemic org, meaning an org that, like, started in the FGC. I think there's a big difference in, like, scale and money and operations and all that stuff.
True.
But, man, the three FGC orgs that are just killing it, maybe not, like, you know, players, like, winning tournaments and shit, but, like, just, like, branding, social movements, sustainability, happiness of players. Man, they're all run by women. Holy shit, who would have thought?
Right? Wow, what a coinky dink.
What? I mean, my bad, Drew. I'm sorry, I love you, but Jinhee. Because I love Drew, so I don't want Drew's gonna be on my show at some point, so I don't want Drew to be like, so what about me? I'm gonna be like, you're there too. You do stuff. You're cool.
Yeah, they're all wonderful people, and like for sure, like I love the hell out of Emily. Like Emily and I are so tight when it comes to it all because like she, like I don't really get a chance to talk to the other ones, like when it comes to stuff in general. But I do appreciate the work they do. I do like to watch from afar. Like I also like supporting like Aziza whenever I see her too because she does a good job.
Aziza of Dynamic Focus, Bird Squad.
Yep. So so it's like also just amazing to see people like that. And I got really tight with Emily though, like rather recently too, was that we wanted to collaborate more throughout last year, but we never really got the chance to because I was focused on Soul Calibur events. She was focused on tech events. And then there's just a lot going on in her life and my life where we're just really busy and we just didn't have a chance to actually collaborate our teams together. And we were planning to do so much this year and we had things worked out. And like we were planning like player schedules. And it's just like, and then, so then we're like, okay, what's plan B? Right? Because we're not going to be sitting ducks. And then that's when like things really start to kick in. And fun fact, when does this episode air for your other channels and stuff? Do you know?
Tomorrow?
Okay, that's
so
fine.
So the YouTube version, the YouTube goes up. I mean, the chat knows this, and this is like a little annoying for like people who listen to it. But the show usually uploads on YouTube. So it actually uploads on YouTube tonight. But I do it at like such an ungodly hour that like people don't notice it. And I actually have to edit this one because there was like the call drop, so I have to put in the. Chat has never seen this screen, so I have this screen, which is if you're watching the stream is
please insert this too.
Yeah, and that's the technical difficulty screen, but that was designed for when like my guest drops, if I drop, I can't put that screen up because I'm dropped. But we've only had one other technical difficulty in the history of the neutral, and it's on the YouTube, so I gotta actually go into, because usually I just record the stream and then I just shove it on the internet. And then the podcast goes up on Thursday, like onto like Spotify and all that shit.
Oh, cool.
So it's like spaced out. So yeah, are you about to make it? Are we about to have a drop? We about to have a hot leak?
Yeah. So something that's happening is, which is leaking to you, but I mean, yeah, it's fine if your people know. It's
all
fine.
5 people in my chat, yo, guys, we got to keep it on the
exclusive. Is actually AXL, Disrupt, and Equinox are running for AXL Online. We're going to be collaborating for PC Tekken. So my weeklies for PC Tekken are now going to involve those 2 companies as well, which is super exciting. And then we're going to be running it for 4 weeks in a row. And then the 4th week is going to be our big one with a pop bonus. I already got verified with Maturino, so now Maturino's getting involved too. So it's going to be pretty exciting.
Yo, chat, you hear that? You know what? And I guess I'll announce a thing because this was going to get it. I mean, so those of you who follow me know that I hit my Patreon milestone goal to be a full-time content creator. So I make now $1,000 a month on Patreon, and hopefully that stays that way. I understand that times are crazy and I might lose some patrons.
Help her live. Help her live and stay. She needs to live.
But because I hit this goal and I'm in a weird moment of my life where my rent's paid until August because of working for Red Bull Conquest, I took that money and just shipped it off to my landlord and said, here's 10 months rent. Good
on you.
Yeah, it was really smart.
Yes.
But so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing the first Stay Free Open. So some of you know Stay Free is is the name of one of my old Discord servers, but it's also the name of all of my branding stuff behind the neutral and all the other stuff that I do. If I was to rebrand the Patreon, it would be called Stay Free. But I'm going to be doing a Stay Free Open. And because you guys know that I love doing educational shit, the way that it'll work, I still got to lock in some of the educators, but it'll be your standard FGC online event with a twist, which is that commentators and pros will be involved in it too, in the sense that if you're a commentator for the tournament, you will have a mentor buddy. And if you're a competitor, you won't have like a mentor because I can't, find like 25 or whatever pros, to connect, right? That's a bit of an effort. But the idea is that at the end of the tournament for the competitors, you will be put into a group to talk to a mentor. So I'm talking to some pros, some friends of mine, to lock some people in. So after the tournament, you'll have someone who's dedicated, who's going to look over your VODs with you and, help you, maybe deal with those high pressure moments. Maybe, they notice that you press too many buttons when you're in this situation, stuff that you wouldn't notice firsthand. And so, yeah, the first Stay Free Open is probably going to happen at the end of April. I got the commentary team on lock, both, people who are going to commentate and people who are going to mentor the commentators. If you want to be part of that, hit me up on the Discord. And yeah, so Stay Free Open. Win a little bit of money because I'm not rich. Win a little bit of money, but learn a lot of shit and level up your game, because I know that there's no like EXO Academy right now because there's no tournaments to send the girls to. So I was like, how can I fill voids in the FGC left by there not being events? So we'll be doing,
and like that's the beautiful part too, right? Is that everyone's rising up so much in the online community, and like
I hope it stays. I hope
I
hope when we get to the other side, right? Because I don't like saying going back to normal because I don't think there's a normal to go back to anymore. But I hope that when we get to the other side of this and, we're able to have large events again and whatnot, that like people remember that online matters too. Like maybe not ranked. Ranked is garbage, but like online community should be great too. And we should hopefully keep doing these things past this.
Yeah, like even for myself was that I ran them for 3 years, and then like to be able to bring it back and doing it now, just I don't know, it's so amazing. And then to see other people also hosting their own online tournaments and stuff like that. I had people who asked me who were like, "Yo, are you like upset about it? Like, do you feel like they conflict with yours?" And I'm like, listen, like I want you to play in as many as you possibly can get your hands on. Like support everybody. Like there's times where I even like go for my Soul Calibur one originally was on Saturdays. But I was like, that conflicts with Booms. I don't want to ever conflict with somebody else's. So I changed it. I was like, okay, we're being a bi-weekly and we're gonna change it to a different date, right? So I don't want to ever conflict with others. It's like Friday has like Ragnarok, and like then it's like Sundays now is NLBC, and it's like I want to make sure that like that people go to these. I don't want ever to be like a competition where I'm competing with other people to get viewers and players. It's like, no, I want to create a fun, happy environment for people. And I used to do prizing back in the day for these tournaments. And it created such an unhealthy, toxic environment, actually, where people were getting really hostile because they're like, it's laggy, it's blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, listen, it's not region locked. My tournaments aren't region locked. You're going to play at a 3-bar. Throw out the pocket sand. Pick a Mishima, bitch. Like, hello? Like, I tell them on stream. I tell them that. I'm like, listen, you know it's a 3-bar. Do it. Like, don't be classy
like, you know
now.
It's 3-bar. Like, play your Abigail.
Yeah, right. It's like, do what you gotta do. Like, yeah, like it's do what you gotta do. Like it's just a fun time, like fun with friends, right? And none of them had that vibe because they're so focused on like the money and wanting to win, right? And now this time around, when I don't do prize pools anymore because I don't want the toxic environment. I get more registrants because they have more fun, and like they're about it. And like I'm just so blessed to have them. Like it's like yesterday, I had 70 people register for PS4.
Yo,
70.
What's
like,
up?
That's a mini majors, bro. That's a mini majors. Like,
yo, that's a regional.
Yeah, that's a regional. And like they all just wanted to play and have a fun time. And like it wasn't like, oh man, what's surprising? It was like, yo, Alicia, you got this busted ass looking stream because your capture card's broken and your web camera's recording your monitor, which was actually what happened. So I started doing shadow puppets at one point and people were living for it, right? We were just having a good ass time. Nothing serious, right? Nothing serious. I'm on the mic. I'm roasting a dude for like doing wake up counter hit 3 and whiffing. I'm like, how the fuck did you whiff that? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, it's not meant to be like this hardcore, like we're an official tournament kind of vibe. It's like, no, we're like, you're drunk at your locals and you're yelling at your friend. That's what it's like. That's what it's supposed to be like. That's the environment, and I want to keep that going.
Yeah, I think like the thing that. So I'm gonna be honest. I don't think people. I mean, like, yeah, winning money is cool at like a major or a regional, whatever, and like bragging rights. But I think the word community is so important. I think in the FGC. You know, like you can still be like watching League of Legends, right? Didn't change, right? Like for LA fans, right? They don't get to go to the studio anymore, and you see a lot of people tweet about that, about like, oh, you know, I miss like my studio crowd, like the people that I would see every week going to the matches. But like I think the thing that people have noticed the most is that they miss their friends, right? They miss you know, going to Michigan Masters and, you know, seeing their goons. And, you know, Combo Breaker hasn't been canceled, and I'm not going to put some bad voodoo on that. I hope it gets to, you know, be the dope thing it's supposed to be. But, you know, if it isn't, you know, you're going to hear people be like, yo, I miss going to Combo Breaker because I miss my goons. And that's why I'm so happy about the online thing, is because it gives you an excuse to goon out still.
Yep.
Right? I mean, it's not the same, right? You're not all, like, lit next to each other, like, maybe drank too much the night before, and now you got to go to your 10 a.m. pools. But like it's the same. It can still be the same thing. Like I'm trying to do it in my Discord. I did a movie night and people were about it. I'm trying to like find ways to like make people connected. I think like I like all these different things. You know, like the cuddle circuit and your weeklies. I like all of this stuff to like give people just like a thing to do and an outlet and a way to have fun. And for those of you that are like have a project, because you know, Alicia, you know, told the cool thing about like AXL is that like I basically started the neutral around the same time. Is that I kind of had always wanted to do a show and have a brand, and eventually I made a tweet once where I was like, "Yo, incoming project, the neutral," and people were like, "Yo, that's the most godlike name I've ever heard," and I was like,
"Facts."
All right, cool. Well, now I gotta figure out what the fuck the neutral is. Like I just tweeted the name out, like because I was like, "Yo, I need to put my foot on this name now," because like you know. there's like Wake Up Wednesdays and shit. I was like, fuck, there's like all these great names already taken.
Yeah, my podcast is Run the Set, and it's like, yeah, it's
right.
Yeah, like everybody,
Hold Back to Block, like all these great names are taken. Yeah. So I was like, yo, I'm gonna tweet out the neutral, and I had like a Muhammad Ali gif, and I was like, yo, incoming FGC project, the neutral. And people were like, yo, godlike. And I was like, yo, fuck, now I gotta like actually come up with
now what's the plan? What's the plan?
What's the play? And I shared it in the chat. I shared it in the Discord chat with Alicia. My friend Jamie Noguchi made this as a meme a very long time ago, called the Jamie Noguchi system. And it's a flowchart. And it's, did you do it? And it branches out to no and yes. And then they both converge and say, fucking do it. And if you aren't doing it, then it goes back to the top and asks you if you did it. And that's how you have to get projects done. This isn't how this wasn't a topic I was like expecting to get to, but since, it seems like AXL, there wasn't really a plan in place. The plan kind of just got made in like 13 hours. Is that if you have a cool project, like you want to write a book, you want to like become good at Korean, you want to like learn how to Korean backdash, you like want to like beat Boom in a Yoshimura or some shit. Don't plot it. Don't plan time for it. Just fucking do it. Like.
Oh, by the way, in that 13 hours, we planned out the full first year.
Yeah, but that's the point, right? Like it wasn't. Yeah. You guys weren't like, oh, you know what? Yeah, you're right. I should start. Oh, you're right. We weren't just like spitballing. Yeah. And then next week you're like, hey, maybe we really should get together to talk about this. And then like a month goes by, and you're like, nah, like you came up with it. It was kind of a bender, You're already kind of litty, so it just kind of carried over. But like that's the best. Like literally from the second I figured out what the neutral was going to be, from the r/Street Fighter thread, where like people are like, yo, a talk show where you're like talking about the person and not necessarily like matchups, but also, hey, it would be kind of cool if you could get two people that like played in the finals or something and have them talk about what that match was like. I'm still trying to figure that shit out. And now that there's no events, I'm trying to see if like I can do like the Wayback Machine, like get like, my dream would be to get Leffen and Goichi to talk to each other about right? Wouldn't that be lit?
That'd be so good.
That's actually secret project chat. You can't tell any about this. I'm trying to figure out how to get Goichi and Leffen to talk about that set.
Or together. Like blow it up, or do the opposite, blow it up so that they can.
Because like Goichi's English is not that great, so I got to figure out how to have a translator on at the same time.
Oh, I feel you.
But so like that's the thing, right? Is that like once I knew what the neutral was, and that was gonna be like a talk show, because I don't really like calling this an interview show, because like. These aren't like questions, like question you get to talk, question you get to talk. It's more of like a discourse. I immediately hit up my graphics person and I was like, this is my idea for what the show looks like. And that's why you have like, the like vaporwave shit, and it's got like the classic arcade feel with the stick, and then the one player menu looking like an actual like old school video game menu and all this stuff, right? Like once I immediately hit up my graphics girl. Laurel is great, and she like banged everything out in like a week. We had everything put together.
Damn, good on her.
All of the assets, the logo, the 2-player screen, the 1-player screen, the now loading screen. I spoke to Black Enola to, because Black Enola has that really great announcer voice, so I had him, say the neutral for the intro.
No, he killed that. He killed that.
And then Super Joe Monday mixed. I like told Super Joe Monday, yo, I want like this 80s video game feel, like for like a beat 'em up. And he was like, I got you. I'll find a track. And then he mixed it with Black Enola, and like that was all done in like 3 weeks, right? Like took time getting all the moving pieces together and whatnot of like graphics. And then season 1 was originally, until my dad passed, season 1 was like booked for like 3 months. This season, I haven't booked a person in like weeks. I literally like booked. Alicia knows this. Alicia was like booked like 2 months ago, right? Like, just do it. Like, if you have the bandwidth to do a project, just start it. Stop saying you're gonna do it. Stop saying you want to do it. Stop saying, oh man, I wish I did my own neutral, right? I wish I was running my own Accelerate Gaming. Like, nah, just figure it out.
I mean, my biggest thing is that a lot of people who approached me after I launched AXL were like, how did you start your company? How did you do this? Blah, blah, blah. They had like 1,000,001 questions, right?
And then you answered them.
And I tried my best to answer them, but I'm like, listen, like you need to do your research. Like the only reason why because 90% of companies that start off flop in their first year, right? That's how it works. And the only reason you can be successful is if you have a background, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm lucky enough that am a partial owner in another company, and I was a producer, and then I got into this. And then my vice president of my company, he worked in esports for the past 15 years. He was there for when it first started to now. I had a very strong base on the business element of that element, and then I allocated an angel investor. Like I got all my steps covered.
Yeah.
I spoke to my lawyers along the way, and then I got the banking stuff done too at the same time, right? So it's like the biggest issue that a lot of these people run into is that they're so in love with the idea of supporting the scene and building a team, they don't understand the legality and the really difficult parts behind the scenes besides just being a team manager. I think a lot of them would be happier as a team manager and would be a lot happier
or
in a
community
situation.
manager or
Exactly.
or social media, whatever. No,
Which I think that sometimes like the just fucking do it. I agree with it, but I think it's like just fucking do it. The steps to learn how to actually do it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
So the reason why I'm super big into just fucking do it is like I used to be this person where I'd be like, yo, I have this really cool project idea. Yo, I can't wait to start this project. And then like I wouldn't start it. And then I'd like move on to the other one. So like, y'all want some deep lore? Chat, Alicia, you want some deep lore?
Give me it.
Chat, you want some deep lore? Cheese, just say yes. I know you're here. All right, whatever. See, lore. There you go. Cheese. I can rely on Cheese to just be like, yo, Cheese, say yes, please.
Want some cheese.
But so, back in middle school, I was going to my summer between middle school and high school. I went to a summer camp called USDAN for creative arts, and it's like basically all the emo kids that like sat together. Imagine if all of those different tables of emo kids like all went to camp together. So like there's like musical theater, like you can major. So you have a major and a minor, and your major is like a 2-hour thing, and there's like a lunch break in between, and then your minor's an hour. And so like you could major in like drama, musical theater, orchestra, computer graphics, creative writing. So I majored in computer graphics and I minored in creative writing. Shocker, right? Shocker that I minored in creative writing. But I had also just read The Perks of Being a Wallflower and Transmetropolitan. Transmetropolitan is the reason why I became a journalist.
Good. Very cool.
And in The Perks of Being a Wallflower, one of the major things in the background is the fact that they have the Punky Horror, which is a zine that gets put out. And so I started a lit mag. I created my own zine from the different creative writers that I knew at the camp, and I would put out every Friday The Word, which was a double-sided piece of paper of people's poetry. And I would hand that out every week. And that's basically what every other project has tried to be since, is just like me being have an idea, have an execution, put it out every single week. And so that's what the neutral is now. And so that's why I know. So, but like I used to be this person after I did The Word, where I was like, yo, I should do this thing. I should do this thing. I have assets for tons of projects that I was going to do that I never did. So the reason why I'm a big proponent of just fucking do it is I hear so many people say to me, yo, I've always wanted to do a podcast. I've always wanted to get into esports journalism. I've always wanted to, do interviews at events, blah, 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 stream, whatever the fuck it is, right? I want to make a Patreon. Exactly. And then I'm like, well, why don't you? And they're like, well, I gotta come up. And I'm like, well, why haven't you come up with the thing yet?
Yeah.
I haven't, so I agree with you that you need to do the steps, but that I think that encompasses just the singular flow chart of just do it. Just actually
every single step is just do it. Yeah.
Like I said, we had a similar experience. Once I knew what the neutral was, I immediately started messaging Laurel because she had offered to help me make graphics for anything that I needed. And so as soon as I knew what the show was going to be, graphics, right? As soon as I, same thing with, that's just what I do is as soon as I know what I want, I just, boom, I now know the steps. And so, you gotta learn the steps. maybe sign up for Skillshare for 2 weeks to like learn how like business management or something, because Skillshare is pretty dope. I want them to sponsor me. Yo, guys, get me that Skillshare sponsor.
Pray.
Yo, but like legit,
sick.
but like that's the thing, right? Is that it's hard to start a thing. I'm not saying like, oh man, tomorrow you'll have a podcast, and it'll be better than mine, because it probably will be. But like,
I mean, these are just facts. Yeah.
These are facts. These are just facts. But like, you gotta just do it. You gotta do it. Maybe you wanna like learn how to play Eddie. Fucking just start playing Eddie better. Stop being bad.
Yeah. Just get good.
Step 1, get good. Step 2,
then just be successful.
Step 1, get good. Step 2, be successful. Step 3, question mark. Step 4, Tekken World Tour champion.
Yes, all of that.
Right? That's just how that works. But we've been doing this shit for a while, and I literally could talk to Alicia for like the rest of my life. But we should start to wrap up the show. We've been doing it for over an hour. Chat, do you guys have any questions for Alicia before we dip? There's like 5 of you in chat. I'm calling out all the lurkers. Ask a question. Maybe
I literally have Indian food sitting here waiting for me, my children. Ask away.
Because if you don't ask a question, then Alicia gets set free to eat Indian food, which would be weird.
Do you want to torture me, or what? Like, come on, make up your mind, people.
Torture me, Yo, Cheese asked, what's your favorite dinosaur?
Stegosaurus.
Wow, she had that shit on lock. Was it the call of the Indian food that made that shit quick, or did you already know what your favorite dinosaur was?
I know off the top of my head what my favorite dinosaur is.
Yo. Yeah. Alright. Yo, what is your... I'll ask you a question. Because I never ask actual fighting game questions. What is your least favorite matchup in Soul Calibur?
Okay, it would have to be... If it's a talented Amy, I would say Amy. If they're talented. Mm-hmm. If they're shitty, then I don't give a fuck. Then I'd say if it is actually any level of Mina, usually tilts me.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's because I, for some reason, am like, it's hard. It's just...
Is it all the pole arms? Is it Mina, Keelik?
No. I love the mirror match because I main Keelik, so I love the mirror match. But it's like, when it comes to playing against Mina, like, my playstyle is very like, I want to get in so I can just constantly just 2-way and keep them zones. They can't step me. Mm-hmm. But the problem is that she is such a strong zoner when it comes to just like 6A and like 1B, which is like her 2 moves that zone like crazy. And her soul charge, like, now that everyone else got buffed quite a bit, it's not as bad. But like before, her soul charge was one of the best soul charges in the game besides Mitsurugi's. And
who?
Oh yeah, who, yo man?
My man?
Yo man?
Oh, okay.
So it's like, so I just like found her super, super annoying in soul charge and just like a lot of bullshit. But now it's like whatever. Like, I mean, I just like to have fun. I mean, I'll still complain about her till the cows come home. But then a part of me is just like, I want to just play this easy ass bitch. Like, come on. like she's so brain dead to play. She's so easy. Her execution's easy. Her inputs are easy. And it's like, it's not like she's like top tier, but I think she's just good. Because all the characters got buffed in the game, so it's not like
folks, if you ever wanted to hear toxic Alicia, it just came out now.
That was a moment.
That was some toxic, salty shit.
I saw red for 2 seconds. I'm sorry.
Yo, are you sure there's not just... Are you sure it's not Indian food? It's not just like a pile
It's hangry.
of salt?
It's hangry, Alicia.
It's just... Alright. I guess that's it, because chat ain't popping right now. Thank you for coming on. How can the people find you on the interwebs?
Yo, if you want to check me out, I actually am really close to hitting 8K on Twitch for followers. So if you guys want to follow me on Twitch, hit that milestone together. It's AliciaxLife. You can follow me on Twitter, which is AliciaxLife_. And then also on Insta and all that good stuff for AliciaxLife on basically everything.
Yo, you're way better at this shit than I am. Half my shit. Well, because my Twitter is Amanda TN Stevens, and that's because at one point, a friend, I don't know if you know who Frostgurian is, League of Legends commentator. She's like I even though this is like counterintuitive to the conversation we were having, she's like the
she
female.
all the tattoos?
Yeah, she's like the female League of Legends commentator, but she's also like one of the best analytical minds. One of the best analytical commentators. Like, not female analytical, just analytical commentators.
Yep.
But at one point, she was like, yo, your handle sucks. Because it's Sage Gnosis, and nobody knows how to spell Gnosis, and nobody knows how to pronounce it when they see it. So she was telling me that, like, she was like, yo, so people, she'd be like, yo, people would just say Amanda, or they'd be like, Sage whatever. And so she's like, you should just drop the Gnosis. And I was like, I don't want to be Sage. Like, Gnosis is the important part. Can I just be Gnosis? She's like, no, that's the same problem. So I switched my Twitter to Amanda T.N. Stevens, which is my professional email. And then I dropped Sage Gnosis from my professional work. But
honestly, a good call. I agree. It says G, dude. It's the G. Like, listen, you a motherfucking G, but it's like, come on, Gnosis? Like, no one. So there's gonna be a lot of stupid ass people trying to look you up that's not gonna put the G in. Like, come on. Come on. My name used to be Killer La La La. That was my old name. And now it's AliciaxLife. And how is it easy to find me? Because it's Alicia.
Yo,
like, come on.
Chat, remember when I roasted Alicia at the start of the show for her name?
And that's how we close it out. Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Fucking cooked. I pressed 0 buttons. I got those 7 perfect letters. Yo, shit. Yo, I might have just been dumb. Yo, I might have just been perfected through the entire set just now. That's how cooked. That's how cooked I feel right now. Sib, I mean it. I feel like I just wow. But the thing is, like, when you lock in like your I'd already locked in my YouTube, so like that's why all of my like socials is still Sage Gnosis, so like Twitch, YouTube, and all that, because it was already locked, and those sites you can't really change it. So that's why it's still Sage Gnosis. But like,
I mean, that's like fine for if it's a handle for everything else, but it's like hard if, like, as long as everything's consistent to some level and there's one outlier, it's okay. But it's when all of them are different that it's harder. Yeah, so that makes sense.
But yeah, chat. Remember, cyberbullying is bad.
Listen, but if someone hits you, got hit back, babies. I'm just saying, if someone hits you, you don't clap some ass cheeks back. You wrong.
No, chat. The moral of the story is that cyberbullying is always wrong and bad. 2 wrongs don't make a right. You know, blah 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 blah, all that shit. Like, don't be like Alicia. You know, when they go low, you go high. All right.
Listen, okay, I'm scrappy.
Listen to Michelle Obama.
It's 2020, okay? We took the high road to hell in 2019. I told you this before. 2020, we come swinging, okay? You took shots early. I had to recover a little bit. You had plus frames, and now I'm back at it. We good.
So Sib, what you missed is at the very start of the show, I cyberbullied the shit out of Alicia because I, as a former emo kid, 100% knew what AliciaxLife meant, but I wanted to roast her while trying to get her to admit what it meant. And so you probably missed, and then at the end of the show, she roasted me for Sage Gnosis, which is my gamer tag.
Yeah, Gnosis.
and the at for all of my my Twitch, my YouTube, and all that stuff. So she just roasted me pretty hard. And so what I'm saying is that have you ever been? We'll bring it back to the beginning again. Have you ever been lightning looped in Marvel? You ever been foot dived? Yo, I just
you ever just bust out the stick real quick? Just. I'm gonna try to even the playing field. You know hella 100% she about to grab that stick. Try to level the playing field. Yo, what? I got multiple. What she want? How many you got? Nothing. Why?
Yo, I'm
ready.
I'm part of Pad.
I'll play myself.
Yo, I'm part of Pad Nation. I got the neutral ends. No, I could never, cause like Alicia, we play the same game. Like, we play Soul Calibur, and I'll probably lose the first to 10, but I'll take like 3. It'll be like 3 to 10, maybe 4. It'll definitely be very Alicia favored though.
Yeah,
but like, if
I mean, that's just because I know frame data, so it's like that's harder.
Like,
if you don't know frame data, yeah, it's like.
But like, if it was like cuts, that'd be an 0-10. That'd be an 0-10 in like 5 minutes. Like, What do you mean is she gonna take that? I said she would win 10-3. What? That's essentially a massacre. Don't Sim.
Listen, Sai played me in Tekken before, and he thought he was nice in Tekken. I beat him 22-2 or something, 22-3. So like that's probably. Or he's actually pretty good. He's actually pretty good.
If I have Sharpie on, I'm getting like 050 in like 2 minutes. Like it'd be some like Ultra Instinct like God tier shit where like you didn't know somebody could lose 20 times in 2 minutes, but I would lose 20 times in 2 minutes. So that's why we ain't ever first attended nobody on this show. Because like, yo, even No Good Citizen would cook the shit out of me. Like, I would just lose to everybody.
He changed the name to O2.
It'd be true, though. Like, I could probably go to a local and, like, 1-2 that shit. Maybe 2-2 that shit. But, like, on my own show, because I talk to people that actually are good at fighting games, my shit would it would just be comedy hour. Y'all would just tune in to see how bad I would get cooked. And look, like, the first 2 times it would happen, it would be funny, right? Like, you know, when I get cooked, who's next week? I think next week is Maureen. Yeah. So, like, that'd be funny, because, like, Maureen would probably start talking shit to me, and she's pretty funny, so it'll be fine. And then, like, I'll have Drew on, and it'll be, like, he might win, because I'll pick a game that we're both bad at, and he'll probably get coaching for one of his players ahead of time, so it'll be bad for everybody to watch us play, but then it'll be, like, Ultra David, and I'll have to play him in MK, or, like, Injustice. And then, or actually he plays like every game. So like, it'd be like a fucking round robin of fighting games and I would just get cooked 0-2 in all of them. And y'all would probably still laugh. But like by the 4th or 5th episode when I'm like playing Justin Wong, like it wouldn't be funny anymore. It would just be sad. Like I'd be getting random.
That's actual bullying.
I would get like random selected by Justin and he would like turn the damage all the way up for himself and I still wouldn't be able to beat him. Like y'all want to see that. That's not entertaining.
Justin would turn his monitor off. Without sounds alone. Oh my god! Listen, in Amanda's defense on that though, anyone that would happen to anyone playing Justin. Okay, anyone, you could turn the monitor off and we'd all lose. Okay?
I wouldn't rage because, like, unlike Ninja, I understand that like losing is a part of learning. You know, there's not going to be any heated N-words. You know, there won't be any. I mean, if I ever get Snake Eyes on the show and I have to play against Zangief a bunch, like after the like 10th SPD, like EX SPD, I might start cursing. Mm-hmm. But Sib agrees. Like eventually it would just not be funny. Yeah. It would not be funny to watch somebody get cooked week in and week out. I'm gonna let you eat some Indian food and not talk about me getting cooked anymore. Y'all know how I do. Go Beyond, plus Ultra, and peace.